is going on, everybody? We're here, we're live, and we are on time. Not late and gay. We're not even 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 minutes late. We're precisely on time. Started the stream right at 7 o'clock, and I'm kind of proud of myself. Not usually the way it happens here on this channel. Sometimes we're fucking around a little bit. Sometimes, I give myself a little bit of leeway, but today we're ready. We are ready. Let's fucking go. Hello to the chat. It feels like it's been a while, but no, it hasn't. I just had one day where I didn't stream on the channel. 3 straight days. Saturday, the birthday stream. Sunday, the normal Sunday stream. Monday, FML. And then Tuesday, we didn't stream. It was so weird. It was so strange. But we're ready to rock and roll. Sneck says 6 o'clock here. Well, my reality is where I exist right now, and that is East Coast, Florida, Eastern Standard Time. So 7 o'clock. It might be, I don't know, what the fucking time is it over the UK? 5 hours ahead of me. It might be midnight in the UK. It might be 5 o'clock for you Mountain Standard Time freaks. It's 7 here. It is 5 o'clock somewhere, though. It is 5 o'clock somewhere, but welcome to the stream. We got stuff to talk about. We got to talk about Wicked canceling the press tour. And it must just be because Universal said there's too much cringe, guys. We can't have this cringe. That must be the case, right? Everybody's saying it. Everybody I follow on Twitter is saying it. So that must be. That must be what it is. We got a little bit of a transgender meltdown, which I suppose that's not surprising. The only thing that is shocking is when they actually continue living and don't just off themselves. A transgender meltdown over the Zelda casting. Heaven forbid you cast an actual woman, a biological female, to play Zelda instead of a transgender actor. I know, crazy, right? Some Disney Star Wars news. A Disney Star Wars Rebels writer, which, by the way, I'm not a big fan of Rebels. I think I've made that pretty clear over the years. But a Rebels writer who was heavily involved, a huge part of making that show, kind of calling out Dave Filoni for the bullshit they're pulling in the Ahsoka series, which it's funny to me because Henry Gilroy, who's worked on Clone Wars and Rebels, both of which I think are shit, is kind of calling out Dave Filoni for taking the shit and making it even worse, which doesn't get better than that for me. I love it when people call out Dave fucking Filoni. I started my channel doing that. Now it's become all that common, which I like. Some other stuff too. Maybe we'll talk Call of Duty. Maybe I'll get some time. We talked about a little on FML, but I would like to actually clip out a video for it. Tom Felton. You guys know I'm a Harry Potter person. I know, gay, whatever. I'm a Harry Potter guy. And I despise The Cursed Child with every fiber of my being in terms of it should not exist. It makes no sense. However, Tom Felton returning as Draco Malfoy, one of the only people who did not stab J.K. Rowling in the back, one of the only people who has continued to, talk about their passion and their love for the Harry Potter franchise and is willing to come back and do these things. He made his debut on Broadway a few days ago, and some of the images are pretty cool. So I thought I would share some of those because, got to have some good news every once in a while, right? Got to have some good news every once in a while. But yeah, a little bit of this. Little bit of that. We'll get through the stream. But let me say hi to the people in the chat. Let me scroll up a bit here. I see M. Spock, Bradley Scott, Spazzy Me says LFG 199. Oh, the 199, my favorite. Snacks, Angst Kitten, Fate 5, The Last Boy Scout, Ariel Black, Cole Hauser. What's up, Cole Hauser? Boyle Crunchy, Sulla Felix, Always Ghostly, Ladybug, Sir Loiterlots, Little Orphan Funkhauser, Nick the Quick. This is Hail Rye Guy. Rye Guy? Bro, do not call me Rye Guy. Rye Guy is just about as bad as Sky Guy. It might be worse. Rye Guy, come on. I think I said Bradley Scott, X Shadow, Anthony Wayne, Buffalo Blue Bear, Godzilla's Greaser, Net Stealer, Emilio, Brandon Fassini, The Last Boy Scout, Joshua Henderson. What's up, everybody? What is up, everyone? Good to see everyone here. Good to see everybody here. And also over on the Rumble side, we've got Ronan, we've got Darth Ghostface, Big Z Video Games, Dude Bro Seth, Happy Camper. I saw Star Wars Marvel Purist in there as well. The banished Star Wars Marvel Purist. Stephen Strange says, Hail Chief. Been a while since I heard that one, but thank you. Thank you very much. Now we got Rai in the chat. Bros, what are we fucking doing? What are we fucking doing? Net Stealer in the chat for $2 says, your reality is 3 minutes late to my atomic clock. I'm sorry about that, Net Stealer. I was live at precisely the right time. Hugo, is it gay that I eat Twinkies by putting it entirely in my mouth one shot? And is it gay that I like Twinkies? It's not gay that you like Twinkies. Twinkies are good. It's not gay. I can't tell you when the last time I ate one was. I don't know when the last time I ate a Twinkie. Like, have I had a Twinkie as an adult? It's a good question. Now, you shove it entirely in your mouth. I don't think that that's necessarily gay. The question is, do you get some sort of strange sexual gratification from it? Right? Putting the entire Twinkie in your mouth. If you just want to like eat it in one shot and you're just like gluttonous, I don't think that's gay. But if you get some sort of like sexual satisfaction from doing that, yeah, you're 100% queer as fuck. So I hope that answers your question, Hugo. Blue-Eyed Scorpio, been watching you since trade school. And when I got hired, had money, I became a member. I'm not smart with my money. Cheers to another 56. 56 months of Blue-Eyed Scorpio. That's pretty fucking crazy. Shout out to Blue-Eyed Scorpio. That's a long time, man. Yeah, I know you're not good with your money. You lost all that in Doge, if I recall. And then we've got Mikey Gussler in the chat. Mikey Gussler for $20. Ryan, thanks again for the generosity you and Jay showed me last night. I went through Epic today and it was fun to look at. The rides had the longest wait times out of all the parks. Still fun, though. See you in Vegas. There's our man, Mikey Gussler. Look, Mikey has been watching the channel since 2019. Mikey's, very upfront about his thoughts, even when he disagrees with us, throughout the entire fellowship and everything. And so Mikey's been around a long time. And when he said that he was going to be at Universal for a couple days, he said, hey, is there any way that we can, meet up just so I can meet you? Because I've been watching you so long. And I was like, fuck yeah, man. And I messaged Jay, and Jay was able to come with me. So we saw Mikey, who had some dinner, had some drinks and just kind of relaxed, shot the shit, got to know Mikey a little bit, and it was awesome. So thanks. Actually, I can show the picture. I can show the picture, actually. You posted it on Twitter. My hair looked like fucking shit. I'm going to be honest, Mikey. My hair looked like fucking dog shit. Because I took a shower, didn't even put any product in my hair or anything, and just went out, and I was like, oh, whatever. No offense, Mike. I wasn't going to go to a lot of effort for you. You know what I mean? Not like that anyway. But here we go. Here's Mikey. Oh, you can't even see Mikey. There's Mikey wearing the Kiss shirt. Me and Jay out there. Look at that. Over at Universal City Walk. There's Mikey. One of the best nights. I should follow Mikey back. Don't know why I don't even follow you, Mikey. One of the best nights of my life. Thank you, Ryan Kinel, Drunk 3PO. Actually, I should say my actual at Kinel Ryan, because I can't have the Ryan Kinel tag because some stupid fucking loser has it. Thank you for taking the time to visit me while I'm in Orlando. Hope to see you two and the rest of G&G crew soon. So shout out to my man, Mikey Gussler. Good to see you, dude. Good to finally meet you. That was fun, man. It was fun. Dan Bombadil, Tom's younger brother, becomes a channel member. I should have said that. I got so caught up in the Bombadil comment. What do you guys think of the Batman light? Do you guys like that? The Batman light? I might have to move it up just a touch. I might have to eke it up just a touch because I feel like right now sometimes my hair is going to obscure it. I think it looks pretty fucking awesome. I like it. I like it. David Smart, Ryan, you going to watch Sisu this week? And Ryan, what angers you in the gym? For me, I hate when guys are loud as fuck and couples take over space, shaking my head. When guys are loud as fuck. Look, if you are, I think there's some people that are like a little louder than they have to be. For people who are out there that are really fucking pushing themselves, that are really trying to fucking crush it and, change their bodies and, like push yourself, to the point of fucking human possibility. For guys that are like that and they're being fucking loud in the gym, more power to them. For the people that are faking a little bit, of course, that I don't like that, but is what it is. Couples taking over space. Like when couples are working out together and shit. Is that what you mean? They're all like fucking lovey-dovey. That can get annoying. For me, the most simple thing is when somebody is using a machine or a bench or something, and they stop their set and they're texting or they're scrolling Instagram. And that's cool. If you're going to do that for 60 to 90 seconds in between, I do that all the fucking time, constantly. When you're there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that fucking pisses me off. That pisses me off. Sisu, I don't know if I'm going to get to watch Sisu this week, David Smart. We will see. And then the man, Kohlhauser, for 20, says, "Hail Ryan, my brother." Couldn't say what he actually wanted to say, yeah? Couldn't say what he actually wanted to say. Tavares says, "What's up with the hair tonight?" What do you mean? I think my hair looks good. Normal? Does it look weird? Does it look weird? But shout out Kohlhauser. Over on the Rumble side, Ronan for $2. Oh, specifically talking about the thing. Hail Ryan, you piece of shit. When did you add the Batman logo behind you? I quite literally put it up an hour before the stream. An hour before the stream is when I put it up. I need that negative space so when I drink, your forehead grows to fill that space in. I'm sorry, you didn't let me know. You didn't let me know that was your plan, Ronan. You didn't let me know that was your plan. So it says looks darker. It actually does kind of look dark. You know what I think? Because look, the shirt I'm wearing, I'm gonna be honest, the shirt I'm wearing is not black. It is blue. It is like darker blue, but it's not black. This looks black. It might be the light. Hold on. It might be the light behind me emanating from that. Hold on. I think that is making it look a little darker. Well, that's okay, though. That's okay. Some white tape over the power cord. We might work on that. We hit it behind that thing down there, but I just put it up. Right? Calm the fuck down with all y'all criticism, okay? Just put it up. Just got there. Joshua Henderson, if they gave Tartakovsky Clone Wars more seasons and episodes, there'd be no TCW had they continued it. And then you wouldn't be complaining TCW, just saying. I don't even think that's necessarily true. Look, TCW overwrote a shit ton of that stuff that happened. So even if they had done more episodes and more seasons, I don't know if that would have prevented them from doing that. I would be all for it, though. I would be all for more of it. To a certain extent, I wouldn't want a million fucking seasons. I wouldn't want 10 seasons. I wouldn't want it to be like a TCW. A hair out of place, huh? I'm just gonna fucking go off camera. Between my hair, between the Batman symbol. Fuck. Everybody's got some great ideas. I will put some of them to use, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. What do you think Wicked 2 will do at the box office this weekend? I think it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be bigger than the first one, and I think internationally it's going to be slightly bigger than it was. I think we're going to see over $200 million, and I think there's a chance that it gets to like that $230 million global number. Now, it is going to be bigger domestically than it will be internationally. I said about the first one. I said that it's going to do bonkers here. It's not going to do quite as well internationally. And I think it ended up making like $470 million here and $750 million worldwide. So I think we're going to see a similar run total, like that $750 million mark. But I think we're going to see a bigger opening because I think more people are going to try to go see it opening weekend than last year. That's my guess. Because American people have such great taste in movies. That's not why, Willie. It's because it's a more familiar brand to America. In the same way that like James Bond movies, and not for the same reasons, but I mean James Bond movies do fucking bonkers numbers in the UK. We get why, right? Like those have always been massive international numbers compared to the domestic, so American. It's funny because when we say domestic box office, we mean fucking America, because we are the center of the fucking world. We are. Alex McCarthy, 2 days till I'm 40. Sat with help on the side of my bed for 15 minutes and lifted a 2-pound dumbbell with my right arm. Meta PC code RK Outpost. That is huge progress. My man, Alex McCarthy. He's had a lot of health struggles over the years and some wild shit that went down for him. Had to have crazy surgeries, immobilized so long and shit. That's awesome, Alex. Awesome to hear, bro. Not the 40 part. You're getting fucking old. And I can say that because I'm younger than you. I just turned 37. I just turned 37. But that's awesome. Ron, what do you think of the woke fest called Welcome to Dairy? I haven't seen it, Sean. Haven't seen it. So I can't really tell you. Should we talk about Disney Star Wars? I think we should. See if I can find I got so many damn tabs going on here. Got so many tabs going on here. Tom Felton, Zelda. Here it is. Here it is. Star Wars is a dead brand. I mean, it's a murdered brand. It is a murdered brand. Master Austin for $25. What's up, Ryan? I'm bummed I missed your birthday stream last weekend, so here's a belated birthday gift from me to you. Enjoy some Taco Bell or something. Master Austin, it's so funny. I was out running a lot of errands. It's usually what I do Wednesdays. I go out and I drive and run some errands and shit like that, just because I don't have to stream daily, so my day is a little more open. And I passed Taco Bell on my way home, and I fucking looked at it for a long time. Now, if I hadn't eaten like a pig last night with Mikey, right? Because I was NBC Sports Grill. I had the mac and cheese. I had the buffalo mac and cheese, so a bunch of really cheesy mac and cheese with bacon crumbles all in it, along with fried chicken with like fried buffalo chicken on top. I ate that, and I got a side of fries with it. So I was up for it last night. I was ready to get fat last night. And if I hadn't done that, I would have stopped at Taco Bell. But now there's a good excuse for me to stop at it at some point throughout the rest of the week. But thank you, Master Austin. Enjoy some Taco Bell or something. Brain Rot Fest for 199. Bring back Patriot Outpost. Politics is blowing up. Yeah, I guess I could. I could just go out there and I could just make a bunch of stuff about I could just try to divide everybody on this side even more in some way, shape, or form. That seems to be the easiest way to get a bunch of fucking views right now, regardless of whatever it might mean for the future, regardless of whatever it might mean for the next election, the election after that. I could just do that, I suppose. It'd be probably very good for me. But my energy's focused other places. It's not that I don't care. I care deeply. I almost care too much. Maybe sometime. Maybe sometime, Brain Rot. Black Kane. What's your RV park at Rocky Knob out? When is your RV park at Rocky Knob Outpost open? And do the first 20 customers still get entered to win a free door? Also, the RK sign is crooked. Black Kane, all of those you're spewing lies right now. You are fucking spewing lies. Nothing but lies. No free door. Rocky Knob Outpost isn't mine, although I would like their Twitter handle. Bastard. Angst Kitten for $10. Do you have any thoughts about what Henry Gilroy said about the plans for Sabine coming early on from others outside the writer's room? Is that code for Dave Filoni push for it? Well, we're going to get into that. And I 100% this is critical of Dave Filoni. This is what this comment is talking about that we're going to discuss because that's the person who decided to do this. And when it comes to outside the writer's room, blah, 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 I 100% believe he's saying that we had a lot of discussions about this and we all kind of collectively decided, regardless of who is pushing or not, that it would be a very bad idea and it wouldn't really make any sense for her character. It would undercut everything. And he's right. But now Dave Filoni has full control to do whatever the fuck he wants, and he did it by himself. And Grizzly Nightmare, hot take, but talk about breakfast better than lunch. I don't think it's that hot of a take. Now, the thing is, there's way more shit for lunch, you know? There's way more stuff that you can get for lunch for Taco Bell. So I do think that is edge. But there's almost nothing in the world that beats a bacon breakfast crunch wrap. With the little fucking Cinnabon bites they have. Dude. Shit makes me want to come, not gonna lie, when I eat it. Like, it is that fucking good. It is that good. Man, now I just want a breakfast crunch wrap. Now I just want a bacon breakfast crunch wrap. But let's get to this story, shall we? An Egg McMuffin over Taco Bell breakfast Highlander. What? What? Come on. Come on. Now, if you say bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle, we have a point there, sir. We have a point there. But let's talk a little bit about the Ahsoka series. Despite the fact that season 1 of Ahsoka was a massive ratings failure and the audience pushed back against it, Dave Filoni's baby was going to get a season 2 no matter what. And with all the criticism we saw over the show and the depiction of these characters that we saw in animated form, not exactly being very well translated to live action, now that Dave Filoni has the keys to the kingdom and can do whatever he wants with these characters, they're already out doing damage control ahead of the release of season 2 next year. You know, Rosario Dawson come out and saying, well, you know, this is Ahsoka. Season 2 now, she's going to be much more similar to the animated version. She's going to be happier and have her joy back. Basically saying, hey, all these people were fucking crucifying us because of how bad this show was. We have to tell them right now it's going to be different or else no one's going to fucking tune in. But in the midst of all this, the interviews we're seeing from some of the cast members and things like that, we're also hearing from people who used to work on Star Wars, who worked, in fact, directly with Dave Filoni on shows like The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. And it's not exactly the most positive thing in the world. Star Wars Rebels writer throws shade at Ahsoka over Sabine's Jedi twist. this Star Wars Rebels writer did not take too kindly to Ahsoka Season 1 making Sabine a Jedi. And I know some of y'all might have forgot it because Ahsoka was just such a dog shit show, but that's exactly what they did. Sabine really wanted to become a Jedi, and she wanted to learn how to use the Force. And even though she never used the Force at the very end, she like force pushes and force carries Ezra Bridger like 200 fucking yards, to save him and send him back, right? That's what we saw at the end. It was laughable. It was ridiculous. And more so than just how laughable and ridiculous that singular moment was, it was also insane for them to make her Force sensitive and make her a Jedi in the first place. Now, I am no big fan of Star Wars Rebels by any means. I have a lot of criticism for it. I think that for the most part, the highlights and the people that love the show, it's just because they have nostalgia for something. Whereas the show in and of itself, I think it's very, very weak. But not Dan Gilroy. There's too many Gilroys in fucking Star Wars. Tony Gilroy, Dan Gilroy, John Gilroy, and then Henry Gilroy, who's actually not related to either of them. Henry Gilroy is the Star Wars Rebels writer in question who's calling out, and he didn't say it by name, but he's calling out Dave Filoni. That's what this is. This is a call out directly towards Dave Filoni, who, despite everyone wanting to suck off this piece of shit for years, I have been very adamantly anti-Dave Filoni since 2008. I started my channel in 2019, and I've been bitching about Dave Filoni since 2019. And over the course of these 6 years that I have been on YouTube bitching about that man and how he's not the right person to handle Star Wars, I got a lot of pushback. But the more that comes out from the mind of Dave Filoni, the more people tend to agree with me because let's just face it, he's a hack. He writes like a fucking 8-year-old with a learning disability. And now you've got somebody who worked with him on Star Wars Rebels criticizing his decisions when it comes to Ahsoka. Sabine becoming a Jedi was absolutely not the plan, says Star Wars Rebels writer Henry Gilroy. And look, Sabine is already good at a lot of shit, right? Got a little bit of Mary Sue energy, not fully, but a lot. She's very fucking capable, right? She's already a Mandalorian warrior. The idea that she also needed to become a Jedi, not real. But Dave Filoni, much like his fucking core audience, people that don't think about anything and just like flashy shit and cameos and nostalgia bait, right? That is Dave Filoni's fucking core audience because that is who he is. He didn't care. He wanted to make her a Jedi too. More girl power. Dave Filoni wants more girl power, more Force user girl power in Star Wars. Say it's not so. Of course he fucking does. Star Wars Rebels writer Henry Gilroy, no relation to Andor's Tony Gilroy or his writer brothers Dan and John, recently appeared on Pod of the Rebellion and discussed the role of Sabine Wren on that show. Pod of the Rebellion's a Rebels rewatch podcast hosted by Rebels stars Vanessa Marshall, Taylor Gray, Taya Sircar, and John Lee Brody. And that's just a background on the podcast in question. Regarding Gilroy's appearance, it seems the idea of Sabine being a Jedi was posed long before the Ahsoka series premiered on Disney+. It would appear that most of Rebels' writing staff didn't love the idea, much like fans wouldn't one day. Fan reactions to Sabine's new abilities were mixed when it was announced she would be Ahsoka's Padawan apprentice in Ahsoka's self-titled show, even more so after the show aired. Now we can see that people within Lucasfilm had concerns about the idea from the start as well. Check out what Gilroy had to say below. Quote, "It was absolutely not the plan. We really felt that not only did it step on Ezra's story, it was a weak retread. We already did this. The idea of Sabine training as a Jedi when she is already this fantastic warrior of her own type, we felt like this is overkill. I had nothing to do with the Ahsoka series, so I was shocked. What I love about the story with the Darksaber is you don't have to be a Jedi to have Jedi ideals. I think that's what's really the more important thing, rather than force pushing Ezra 100 feet when you've never used the Force before." And when Ahsoka came out and they revealed that she's Force under and they revealed that she's going to become a Jedi, they revealed all this shit, right? The reaction and the defense from a lot of people was, well, look, you could tell they were hinting and they intended to do this all the time. Look, this little thing here, this little thing in this scene. None of that was true. It was people making excuses for Dave Filoni, which always fucking happens. That's what happens with Dave Filoni time and time and time again. This was a retarded decision. It was one that absolutely did not need to happen, but Dave Filoni wanted it to happen. This is his approach with Star Wars in general. It doesn't matter if something's in there that should allow this thing you want to do to not happen. He will make it happen. He will push for it. He will say, I don't give a fuck We'll deal with the ramifications later, except we never actually deal with the ramifications. What cool thing? What's a cool thing that fucking 8-year-old mental brain me could put in here and not think about all the other shit that this changes? And that was Sabine becoming a Jedi. He thought it would be a rewarding moment. He thought it would be, people be like, oh my gosh, look at how incredible she is using the Force like that when we've never seen her display Force abilities. And it was stupid. So apparently he had brought this up. He wanted to do it back then. He desperately wanted to do it. And everybody in the room said, this really doesn't make any sense for her story. She already can do all of these things. We really don't need to make her a Jedi too, do we? We don't need to give her fucking everything, do we? But this is Dave Filoni, and if there's anybody that has ever exuded the Force's female energy more than Dave Filoni, find them for me. It's not Kathleen Kennedy. The most feminine presence at Lucasfilm. It wasn't fucking Leslie Headland. It's not Kathleen Kennedy. It's Dave fucking Filoni, and it always has been, and it always will be, until everyone actually recognizes that he is one of the major fucking problems that has led to the death of Star Wars over the last decade plus. Woo! Damn. I didn't expect to go off quite like that. I did not expect to go off quite like that. Excuse me. Excuse the intensity. I fucking hate Dave Filoni so much. Isn't it crazy that I can still get this pissed off about fucking Star Wars? It shows me, like, it just is crazy because I fucking despise Star Wars so much. I don't even like Rebels, right? I do not like Rebels. But this approach, this approach that Dave Filoni has is so indicative, right? He will overwrite his own stuff. He will overwrite George Lucas's stuff. He will overwrite anyone else. Like, that's just his fucking policy. That's what he does. He doesn't fucking care. He thinks he knows best. And even now, this far removed from the destruction of everything that I loved about Star Wars, I still fucking care about it. I still care about it. Fuck. CJ, all Gilroys make awful Star Wars. Yeah, maybe. I think, well, hold on. I think there was actually I think there's been some Gilroys that have worked on like the OT and the prequels potentially. Because I think there's been like 6 people named Gilroy that have been involved in Star Wars over time. Now, those 4, pass, but yeah. You spent your years complaining about an animated kids show. Not that I blame you, but still. Joshua Henderson, you spend your days listening to me do that. That's what you spend your days doing, and fucking arguing with me about an animated kids show. That's what you do, Josh. ACC for $20, Norwegian. Ryan, don't shout. You're scaring me. Just like Jeremy. I can't help it. I can't help it. East Coast Toasty Boy. Part of what makes Mandalorians extra badass is being able to kick Force users' ass while not being Force users themselves. This decision waters it down. Yeah, 100% agree. The idea that Mandalorians are such capable warriors that they are able to give Jedi problems, right? That they are good matches, like in their own right with all of this stuff. You're 100% right. And it's not to say there has been Mandalorians became Jedi, right? We know the story about the Darksaber. We know about this. But for Sabine specifically, I think it is very foolish. And it's one of the reasons that people thought it was so dumb, right? And now if there's people that haven't watched Rebels that just come into that, they might not have any fucking idea how weird that was to see. And of course, there's going to be some significant portion of the fan base that they don't care if it makes sense or not. They don't care if it undercuts the story arc. They don't care about any of that shit. They just want to see flashy lightsabers. So they say the more Force users, the better. Brain rot fest. Nah, bro, you wouldn't cause more division. You're the chosen one. You would bring balance to the country. It's your destiny. I have foreseen it. Well, I am old enough now to run for president. I don't see that happening. Imagine the clips that they would have of me. They'd be like, we really want this guy with a thumb over the nuke button. This guy who fucking screams at people in the chat. Oh no. Naruto the 7 says, I will never understand. Every time Ryan's in a good mood, the chat always gets him upset. I have been in a fairly good mood over the past couple days. I had kind of a bad day today. I had kind of a shitty day. So I'm predetermined. I'm predetermined to get a little fucking triggered today. Just a little. Just a little. From zero to 100 in 0.6 seconds. It's funny because it's from 0 to 100 in that time, and then it's also from 100 to 0 in that time. I think that this is the way I feel about it. I think that there are times to like hold in your anger and shit. But I also think that there's times that are perfectly reasonable. Just fucking let it fly. Get it out. And it doesn't fester. You know? You know? Gendy Tartakovsky is my canon between 2 and 3. Well, that makes sense, SCDB, because it actually fits. It actually works. It actually lines up with the second and third movie. I know it's wild, right? Maximus Shiitake. Thank you, Maximus. Nick the Quick for Canadian 5. It's all good, bro. Your Bears are 7-3. You a Blackhawks fan? Because so they got this kid Bedard that's worth watching. He's starting to dominate. Dude, Bedard's been on a fucking tear. I'm not a huge Blackhawks fan, but I follow them tangentially because I listen to a lot of Chicago sports radio during the week. So obviously Blackhawks always get talked about on there. But yes, I do know Bedard's been really fucking good. I am aware. James Busher, what are your favorite British films? I don't fucking know. British films. Like made by British people or where people have British accents? I don't know. Fucking James Bond movies are some of my favorite movies in history. Not all of them, obviously, but it's one of my favorite like series of films. I love that franchise. Does that constitute a British film? It's obviously about a British man. I guess it's like Monty Python. I could say Monty Python, I suppose. Monty Python, the Holy Grail. Could I say that? Ooh, look at this. Brandon Kyrchuk. Did I say that right? Canadian. That's a Canadian name. Brandon Kyrchuk. For 70 Canadian dollars. Fuck yeah. This is Ryan. It's not hard to be pissed off with the slop that Disney has turned out and called Star Wars. Like you, I've read most of the EU books, which were far superior. Which area did you like better? Bong Arc, Legacy Arc, or Abeloth Arc? Stay well. Of those three, Fate of the Jedi, so the Abeloth Arc would be on the bottom. I would probably put NJO as the second, although I love NJO. It's because there's 19 books and so many different authors and so much story to get through. It is a little more hit or miss from book to book, in my opinion, although I like the overall arc a lot. But I'd put that in second place. And then the top tier would have to be, for me, Legacy of the Force. Jason Solo. Yeah. And I assume you mean Legacy, but Legacy of the Force, not the Legacy comics, which were also fucking cool, but not as attached to the Legacy Cade Skywalker story arc as I am to Jason Solo. I'm gonna take a drink for that, Brandon. I could use a drink today. I could use one. Bro, this is fucking running out. There we go. Just, loosen up a little bit. A little tense, a little stressed. But thank you very much for the big super chat, Brandon. Greedy Graffiti for $5. That inspired a freestyle. You're scaring me like Jeremy, giving hoes a double dose like there's a pair of me. Hold on. You're scaring me like Jeremy, giving hoes a double dose like there's a pair of me. Thank you. ACC, Liquor Percy. Lick her pussy. You could have just typed lick her pussy. I would have read it. I would have read it. Let's see. Jose Contreras for $1. Ryan, new news. Pokemon's new theme park requires visitors to pass a fitness test to access the entire park. Really? Is that true, Jose Contreras? Is that true? It may just be that I'm ready to talk about that. That might be the case. It might be the case that I'm ready to talk about that. In fact, I did see this. All right, we're going to talk about a random fucking story, a theme park story on this channel. What is happening to me? Why am I suddenly interested in theme parks? What's with the theme park news? I feel like I know more about theme parks than I should, considering I don't go to them very often. I do tend to stay a little bit updated on them sometimes. But yes, Pokepark Kanto. The Pokemon theme park. So a week ago, we got some pretty big news. If you're a Pokemon fan, understandably, you might not be, but if you are, the idea of a Pokemon theme park, of a Pokepark opening up, might be pretty cool. Might seem pretty cool to you. You might even be tempted to take a trip to Japan just to go see it. Get ready to experience Pokepark Kanto on February 5th, 2026, opening next year. Right, tickets for the grand experience go on sale soon. Stretching over 26,000 square meters, the amusement park located in verdant Tama Hills, Pokepark Kanto, will be the first ever permanent outdoor Pokemon attraction. So it's in Tokyo. Sounds pretty cool. Well, there might be one group of people that aren't very happy about this, because if you're too fat, you're not going to be allowed in. You know, they got the things you pull down. You have to pull down sometimes when you go to a theme park to see if you're fat enough to be able to ride the thing. They're going to have one of these here, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit more intense. This is Japan, after all. They're not as tolerant of the overweights, of the fats, of the obese that we are here in America. They're not going to make this thing for everybody. You're going to have to pass a fucking fitness test. Pokemon's new theme park requires visitors to pass a fitness test to access the entire park. According to the official website, guests who do not meet a certain age and physical fitness / ability requirements will not be allowed to enter the Pokemon Forest section of Pokepark Kanto. The park's admission policy states that anyone entering the Pokemon Forest must be able to climb unassisted a stairway of roughly 110 steps. Now, 110 steps doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me. I'm sure there's some people that would have trouble with it. And look, not every person that goes to every theme park can do every fucking thing. They just can't. Now, I know a lot of people are worried about accessibility and wheelchairs and this and that, but there are some things that you just can't do. I mean, hell, we had a guy die at Epic Universe not that long ago because he was not physically capable enough to do that ride and he tried to do it anyway, right? We have seen this happen. And when it comes to this is a little different story. I love that they're putting it out the way that they are. I think it's so fucking funny. There's going to be people that are really triggered by this. But my reaction would be, if you truly want to do this that bad, if you want to do the Poke Forest, if you want to do this thing, get yourself in better shape. And look, we have all been in places in our lives where we've let ourselves go a little bit. We're maybe not happy with this. We look in the mirror. You know what? If you want to go to this, if you are in that threshold where you don't know if you can walk up 110 steps, not just to do the Poke Forest thing, but just for your general well-being, fucking do something about it. You know what I mean? Make that a goal. If you want to do this, if you want to go on a fitness weight loss journey, make something your goal. And maybe that can be your goal. Because as it stands, fats aren't allowed at Poke Park in Japan. And there's going to be a lot of people that are fucking, I've already seen them, right? There's people that are triggered about this, that it needs to be accessible to all Pokemon fans. But most people are just kind of laughing their asses off because only in Japan would they put it this blunt. Hey, too fat? Sorry, not sorry. I will be going to Japan. And not that long. Not that long from now. Let me refresh this. Sure, good over here. So yes, thank you for the you gave me an easy way, Jose, to lead in. To lead in to that. I was ready for it. I was planning on talking about it with Jay tomorrow. I think that'd be a good topic. Greedy Graffiti. Oh, I already said this one. What the heck? East Coast Toasty Boy for 5. Okay, I got another matchup for you. Old Republic, Sith Empire versus Yuzong Vong. Who comes out on top? Old Sith also use droids. It's a good question, actually. That's a good question. I want to say the old Sith Empire. And the reason I'm saying that, the reason that I'm saying it is because the number of Sith warriors and troops and stuff was just so fucking massive. You got to remember, during the time of NJO, like the Yuzong Vong invasion, you're talking about a couple hundred Jedi, right? And even that might be pushing it. Maybe like 200 or something. You know, when you look at Luke Skywalker's new Jedi Order a couple decades in, it's not a lot. So I think just by pure like from a numbers standpoint, I might take the Old Republic Sith Empire if you're assuming all the same numbers and shit like that. Maybe. Because like the Jedi Order, we often forget that Jedi Order is relatively weak during that time. And there was a lot of, there wouldn't be as much pussyfooting around with the Sith. They'd be like, we're just going to fucking kill them and crush these people. Like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to fight them, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, NJO, we had a lot of, well, should we fight aggressively? Should we be defensive? Should we help evacuate? Will this lead us down a dark path? Sith aren't going to think about that. Sith aren't going to think about that. Ruben, hail Ryan. I've been quiet. Hey, Ruben Christopher Haynes. What's up, Ruben? I've been quietly filing patents and mapping new discoveries beyond my project, Love Algebra, Agape Algebra. This is just the beginning. Math, mercy, and machine learning how to love better. Big things coming soon. There you go. That's fucking awesome, man. That's fucking awesome, Ruben. That is awesome to hear, buddy. That'll be cool to see it when you have everything going on. You look like a fucking scientist, professor. You're gonna replace Bill Nye or some shit, Ruben Haynes. Except you'll be real. I was originally feeling optimistic the Browns might finally get another win against the Raiders, but now they'll be starting Shador. But yeah, I mean, I'll be rooting against them. Fuck Shador Sanders, man. I hate the media circuit, and they'll probably win against a terrible fucking Raiders team, and people be like, look at him. All he needed was the chance. Nobody wanted to give it to him. Quentin Edwards. Appreciate your advice, Ryan. Looking at a January ship date. Oh, yes. So Quentin Edwards had messaged me a while ago, and you had wanted to, look into getting in the military, and you were asking for some advice and stuff like that. And you had to go kind of on a fitness journey of your own, Quentin, and you worked your fucking ass off. And, we had a little talk in DMs, and I said, bro, just fucking go to the fucking recruiter right now. And that is awesome, man. That is awesome, Quentin. Hoo-yah. Congratulations. Then on the other side, BMC CB. Bro, do you have any idea how many signal chats I'm in? You retired just in time. Well, BMC CB, to be clear, I didn't retire. I separated. I did 11 years and got out. But so I did not, I can't claim I retired. I didn't. Would have been nice. But I couldn't do fucking 9 more years, man. I couldn't do 9 more years. Well, I was ready to move on to other shit. And I really didn't want to have a boss and all that stuff. But no, I have no idea how many signal chats you're in, but I could imagine. ACC for 20 Norwegian. Lick her pussy. Yeah, boy. Lick that fucking twat. Okay. Erica. What's up, Erica? Erica Perrin becomes a YouTube member. Good to see Erica in the chat. B Chain for $10. I was 210 pounds at the end of last year. I'm 5'7". Bowling from my friends helped motivate me to lose 45 pounds in a month and a half. There's no excuse that others can't if they're physically able to. There you go, B Chain. I think I do think that there's a lot of people. There's two sides to this. I do think there's a lot of people who just kind of need that extra motivation and stuff like that sometimes. And who knows, like when you're going through shit, when you're going through a rough patch in your life, whether it's with a fucking job, whether it's a fucking romantic thing, whether it's a family thing, whether it's just some other random shit, it can really easy to fall out of habits and pick up bad habits and overeat. Like that happens, man. It happens to fucking everybody at some point in time. You gotta find a way to motivate yourself. On the flip side, there are some people, and I think a lot of times sometimes women who, even when they do look good and even when they are fucking healthy, because of whether it's societal pressures, whether it's them fucking internalizing stuff and thinking this or thinking that, who even though they look like amazing, feel the need to do something. And I think oftentimes it's for other women instead of actually for men. But yeah. Yeah. East Coast Toasty Boy. You think old Sith would have made droids to viciously hunt down the Vonkster, or whatever those anti-force dogs were? Old Sith were ruthless. Oh, they would have done everything they could to fucking kill him. They would have gone to town. They would have gone to town. Erica says, and now you work for a gay retard. Yes. Now I work for a gay retard. Now I work for a gay retard. So here I'm basically in the same fucking scenario. Basically in the same scenario. Lynn Green says droids, they would have made beasts do the job. They could have. They could have done some fucking Sith sorcery shit and like animated. They 100% could have done that. They wouldn't even needed droids for some of that shit. You're not wrong. Like the old Sith Empire, fucking badass. They would have had no problem. Remember when we were sitting here, like, remember when you're having the discussion of whether we should use this fucking biological weapon that we've created to wipe the Vong out of existence? And, you know, the Jedi are like, no, we shouldn't do that. We can't do that. The old Sith? Are you fucking kidding me? Done. Done. Ronan for $5 says jumping in and out because I'm drinking. Ryan, you are very, 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 very gay. This has been a public service announcement. Thank you. Thank you, Ronan. Glad you got all that out with no spelling errors or anything. No spelling errors. All right, so we talked about that. Should we talk about Wicked now? Off to the Pokey Park, says Cornholio. Josh, bro, I never read any Legend books, but the Yuzong Vong, the best arc in those series. I think it's really good. I don't think it's something you can just hop right into, though, because there's so much. It's one of the things about NJO. Like, NJO takes place 25 years after Star Wars A New Hope. So there's so many characters and so much character development and things that are going on in the galaxy that I don't think you can just hop in and read those. Now, for some people, that may have been how they got their start and they loved it. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. So I don't know if it's a super accessible one. I think you have to have a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of understanding of, you know, Han and Leia's children, of Luke forming the Jedi Order and his thoughts around that. Characters like Corran Horn and Kip Duran, the state of the galaxy and the, you know, what's happened with the Imperial remnant, you know, how the Empire fell and how the New Republic rose to take its place. Like all of that stuff, I feel like is kind of important in the grand scheme of things. So it'd be tough to start there. It'd be tough to start there. I want to go to this fucking Poke Park when I'm in Japan next year. I think I'll be able to make it up 110 steps. Something tells me I'll be able to. Darth Bane is a fine way to start. Takes place 1,000 years before the movies. And also, like the Yuzong Vong, the New Jedi Order series, it's 19 books. 19. So it's a lot. It's a lot until you get all the payoff. So I think it's for people that are You know, I think it's for people that are a little like very committed to it. Darth Bane, it's 10,000 years. Darth Bane's not 10,000 years. Darth Bane takes place 1,000 years. Look it up, Filthy Casual. Darth Bane takes place 1,000 years before the movies. I mean, that's why we haven't seen the Sith in a millennia, right? Sith haven't been seen in 1,000 years. You're a streaming machine this week, says Como or Camo for cocktails. I have been streaming a lot. A lot of fucking streaming. A lot of fucking streaming. Damn you. It's 10:26. Yes, it is. I fucking know. Who the fuck you think you talking to, Filthy Casual? Now, that's not to say that I can't be wrong. I certainly can be wrong about stuff. There's the Star Wars universe is so fucking vast when you get in the expanded universe. But that I know I'm right about that one. Chupacabre. Ryan, where can I get Star Wars audiobooks? I do all my Star Wars audiobooks on Amazon. I do all of them on Amazon. For better or worse. Now, you got to make sure that you're not getting the abridged version. If you see one and it's like a 3 or 4 or 5 hour book, fuck that thing. Don't get it. That is an abridged version. You got to get the full length unabridged versions, which will be ranging anywhere from, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, somewhere in that time frame, depending on the book and how long it is. But you see something that's like 3 or 4 hours, fuck that thing. It's an abridged audiobook and they're gay. They shouldn't even be ever made. SCDB, favorite non-force user and which is the strongest? Non-force user. I mean, favorite non-force user. I would have a lot of like suggestions in terms of who's the strongest. I don't know if I can fucking say that because who's stronger, Han Solo or Wedge Antilles? Who's stronger, Tycho Selchu or Jagged Fell? Like I don't know if we can. Are you going to try to have argued about who the better pilot is? But I'm not gonna say Han. Han's a basic fucking answer, and I love Han, obviously. But I do love Wedge Antilles. I do love Tycho Selchu. I do love Jag Fell. And I really wish we got to see the rest of Jag Fell's arc play out. What are some other good ones? Boba Fett is a basic fucking answer, a basic bitch answer to say Boba Fett. But I do like what they do with him, especially in Legacy of the Force. Non-force users. There's some good names. Wedge is a fucking badass, bro. Well, Corran Horn is a force user. So I can't say that. Talon Card's a good side character. No Grievous? No, fuck no to Grievous, no. There's not enough there. He's not enough of a character. Now, does he have a backstory of, how the Emperor basically fucking manipulated him into fucking becoming this machine of death and everything? Yeah, for sure, but nah. ACC for 20. You think Tobias likes animal documentaries? I don't know. You'd have to ask Tobias. Tobias is never in my fucking chat, by the way. Always in daily, but obviously that's time. I know there's a lot of people that watch me on like FNT or daily that they are subscribed to my channel, but they're never awake for my streams or they're busy during my streams and stuff like that. So that does happen. That does happen. Angst Kitten for 5. Have you seen Pluribus? I wasn't really sure about it after the first episode, but by episode 3, I'm really liking it. I haven't seen it. I am going to wait till because I don't have Apple TV Plus. Otherwise, I would watch it because I'm going to have to get it through other means. I will probably wait and do a chunk of them at a time, you know? I think I do have access to some of them right now, but it is on my list. I like pretty much everything Vince Gilligan does. So I will try it out. I've heard very good things about it. I've not watched it yet, though. Have not watched it yet. Naruto says, I miss hanging out in the G&G chat, but my schedule's been so busy. I hear you, man. I hear you. I have not watched it. Welcome to Derry. Not yet. Yes, I'm aware of Planet Will, of where I could get them. I am indeed. Actually, I should share my whole screen for this, I think. Hold on. So we might want some audio. Do we need audio, though? Just in case. Just in case. We'll get that audio in there. All right. Let's talk about Wicked. Well, specifically, let's talk about some of the cringiness and the upcoming press tour. The upcoming press tour for Wicked. Wicked for Good, the sequel to last year's smash box office hit, is coming out in just a few days. And whether you liked the movie or not, in all likelihood, it's going to make a shit ton of money this weekend, because the core audience that it was made for, the massive fan base for this theatrical franchise, it is going to come out in droves to support the movie once again. Wicked for Good to cast record 200 million plus opening spell on the box office. It is projected to outperform fairly significantly, potentially, the first one's opening weekend. I think it'll have a similar overall run, but I do think more people have bought it up front and are going to go see it opening weekend. But with that always comes some cringe, because Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, it seems like every time they're in public, they can't help but do something that causes a stir or causes something to go viral on Twitter. And certainly Cynthia Erivo being named Man of the Year by GQ caught a lot of people's eyes in a very bad way. But then we heard something interesting. With all of these cringe things we've seen from them over the past 2 years during these PR tours and all that stuff, we got a big announcement just days before this movie is set to release. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande skipping interviews at Wicked for Good New York premiere. So I was skipping interviews. What the fuck's going on? And then we get this report. Cynthia Erivo has lost her voice and will not be doing interviews at the Wicked for Good premiere in New York tonight, Variety reports. Ariana Grande will also be skipping interviews in solidarity. Now, although that means we won't have a bunch of cringe clips, that started a lot of discussion points about this entire thing and about whether she really lost her voice. Were they really skipping in solidarity? Or is this a ploy to not let them be out in front of anybody to embarrass themselves even further? Universal halts weird Wicked press tour as Erivo loses her voice and Grande stands down in solidarity. And look, I saw a lot of people that I follow, a lot of people that I like and stuff like that saying, hey, the reason this is all bullshit. The reason this is happening is so they don't have any more cringe shit. The studio's shutting them down. And look, there's a lot of cringe shit with these two. There is no fucking doubt about it. We saw it all last year in the lead up to Wicked. We have seen it in interviews with them and appearances this year. There's a lot of strange things between these two. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, whether they're holding hands and crying about something or holding space for each other or supporting each other just a little bit too strangely or freakishly. It's been weird. There is no other way around it, that it has been fucking weird. But I think that what some people don't quite grasp is, although I find this weird, you find this weird, a lot of people in this chat probably find this weird and fucking off-putting. It worked for the core audience for the last movie. Wicked was a huge success. Over $750 million at the global box office, nearly $500 million just here in the United States. And that was part of this massive fucking PR tour that they did. The audience, and I think for the most part, it's white women. That's probably the core audience for this. It became the biggest Broadway theatrical adaptation to hit the theaters ever in history at the box office. It was massive. And I think for a lot of the people, and I saw Alan talking about it here, the press was making people not want to see the film Wicked. Everything they said is not in the film. This news is the best thing that could ever happen. Now, he is not saying that the studio did it, but some other people have been saying that. Some other people like, the studio shut it down so it's not a disaster like it was the last time. And although I think it's cringe as fuck, I think it's retarded. It was not a disaster last time. It actually worked very well. And the lead up to this one, which is, it looks like it's going to be even bigger. The sequel is going to be even bigger, at least opening weekend, than the original one was. What I think is far more likely is that Cynthia Erivo did lose her voice. And because these people are fucking weird, because they are weird, because they're fucking weirdos, and they look like they're in love with each other, whatever, I absolutely do think that Ariana Grande, if Cynthia Erivo could not go out there and give an interview, wouldn't want to overstep, would want to hold space, would want to make sure that she doesn't overshadow her co-star, because really it's about her too. I 1000% think that that is more likely than the studio coming in and shutting down something that wasn't a disaster in the first movie. That's truly what I think. I think all this shit is fucked up. But I also can acknowledge when I'm not the target audience for something. And the target audience for Wicked came out in droves to support it last time. They're going to come out in droves to support it this time as well. But it is interesting. A lot of people throwing it out there. Maybe, just maybe, the studio said, no, too much, too weird. We have to protect the movie. I just don't think that that is the most likely explanation. I think the most likely explanation is these two are fucking weirdos. The film only did well in the US. It's a garbage musical that gave a garbage film. Well, David, unlike Superman, it actually did well enough in the US that it could have not a great international number and still be an insanely profitable movie. I know it's weird. I know it's strange. But that's how it works. So I know I might differ from a lot of other people in this space when it comes to that, when it comes to what I think is happening. I believe that they're fucking weird. That's what I believe. And I totally believe that Ariana Grande would not want to leave Cynthia Erivo out of that, that she wouldn't want to do an interview without her when it comes to something like that, that if she's not going to be able to do it, I'm not going to do it either. Oh, have you seen these fucking people together? 1000%. That's what I think it is. 1000%. How do you feel about the Snyderverse returning? Look, in terms of the Snyderverse returning, I think that there's people that are getting really ahead of themselves when it comes to it. 1000% Warner Brothers getting sold to somebody. And although Paramount denied the idea of foreign backing, of Saudi backing, it does seem like Saudis are interested, and a lot of people are overblowing the Zack Snyder Saudi connection because, again, he's making a movie with them. It's not like some announcement they were teasing like they're going to restore the Snyderverse. It's Brawler. And some people don't even look at the dates on that shit, and I get it. I think it's highly, highly unlikely that it happens, for everything to go down the right way, for actors to all agree to come back and commit, not just come back to finish off a movie, not just come back for a couple pickup shots here or there, to commit to like 5 years of something. I just think it's very unlikely. What I do think is the noise surrounding that, the noise surrounding the potential of that, is very indicative of how lackluster the reception has been to James Gunn's universe, whether that's Superman, whether that's Peacemaker. I think it's very telling in the fact that so much noise is being drummed up over this. And I think if Superman had been a smash hit, if it actually had been widely loved by so many people, I don't think you're seeing the energy surrounding this. So I actually think, regardless of whether or not anything like that happens, that's the bigger story. I think that's the bigger story when it comes to all of it. Powerful Presenting said, keep crying, bro. That cast is done. Do you listen to anything that I said, Powerful Presenting? Do you fucking listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth? Or do you like, are you just guzzling so much cum? You're gagging so hard on a big black dick that you're unable to listen to what I'm saying. Because just minutes ago, I quite literally told you that the idea that all those cast members would come back and do that, highly unlikely, not going to happen. People are getting their fucking hopes up. That's what I just said. But you're too fucking gay brained, right? You've taken so much dick in the ass, so much dick down your throat that it's affecting your ability to comprehend. Not surprising. Not surprising, mind you. But you just try. Try listening. Attempt to do so. Don't think it'll happen. I think you've lived this long in your life somehow, some way without fucking offing yourself. You're probably not going to learn any new tricks. Ryan forgets that people are retarded. And no, I do not. Unfortunately, it is one of the great banes of my existence that I always know that people are fucking retarded. It's a sad reality. I think the best call out post of the Wicked Presser was saying even Dan Schneider wouldn't want Ariana Grande now. Well, yeah, she's of age. So that makes sense. She's of age. Ryan forgets how to make good content, LOL. I mean, that would be a sick burn if I ever made good content. I'd say it was once good and now it's not. I don't particularly think it's ever been good. Are you saying one time you loved me and then I did something to... Is that what's going on? Hold on. Hold on. Is that what happened? Are you like a spurned lover or something, Powerful Presenting? Like, you love my channel, all of this stuff, but you really wanted me to fuck you in the ass and I wouldn't do it? And then you really, like, it really just burned you that much? And now you just fucking hate watch? Is that what's going on? That would actually make a lot of sense, especially because you're gay as fuck. That would make a lot of sense. ACC for Norwegian 20. Ryan, can you diss me too? I would be honored. It's so honored you can't even fucking spell honored correctly. Not a fucking shock. I don't even know what is relevant enough about you to roast ACC from fucking Norway. Like the most lamest, non-consequential fucking country ever. I guess maybe I'd like to go there and look at some snow or some shit. Other than that, there's nothing that even stands out about your fucking country that is worth roasting. It's that bland. It's that fucking boring. So no, I don't even have anything I can diss you about. Does that work? Does that work? Nerd Cookies. Ryan, have you read Project Hail Mary? I have not. I have not. In fact, the only knowledge I have of Project Hail Mary is listening to Nerd Cookie's live streams where she talks about how fucking excited she is and what a perfect casting Ryan Gosling is and how excited she was to see Rocky in full form on screen and about the differences between the author and how he described the ship and versus what they put in the in the actual movie, and the author's totally good with it because he's not a very like creative person like that. He didn't put a lot of details in the ship, but they really thought about that for putting it on film. Everything I know, Nerd Cookies, about Project Hail Mary is solely because of watching Nerd Cookies live. So I haven't read it. I think you're telling me that I should, though. I think that's what that message is about. I think it's a suggestion. LOL, no shot, Ryan. Listen to my live streams. I mean, I think I just proved it to you, Nerd Cookies. Now, I can't say all the time. I'm not everyone. Sometimes I'm busy and stuff. But Nerd Cookies talks about stuff that I don't know a lot about. You know what I mean? Like, she knows way more about Dune than I do. She knows way more about like stuff like Project Hail Mary. So those are some of the things that that's one of the reasons I listen to Nerd Cookies sometimes. Read it or listen to the audiobook. When does it come out? Project Hail Mary release date. It's next year sometime, right? March 20th, 2026. I can definitely fit it in before then. Erica Perrin says you should. It's great. Okay. March 20th. I could definitely do that. 320, dude. Tommy Campari for 5. Do me next. Diss me, please. You guys are fucking. All right. This is getting a little bit weird. All right. Tommy, this is fucking strange. This is like some sexual fetish that you have. You're probably one of those dudes who like starts asking weird shit to fucking women. Like you want to get tied down to a fucking bed and you randomly like pull out your fucking drawer and you got this big black strap on that you're begging your fucking girlfriend, who's probably like shocked as fuck, like what the fuck is going on? And you're just begging her to peg you in the ass with some domination fetish. Is that what is happening, Tommy? This shit's getting weird, guys. I'm just saying. If you start liking it, what's the point? I don't know, Tommy. That's all I got. That's all I got. Oh. Ryan, you sure do know about a lot of gay stuff. Well, here's the secret. Klopp singing Varsinal Tears. I've been making fun of gay people my entire life. So, you know, you scoped it out. $50. Well, look, if people are actually, there's the thing. If people are actually like getting into it to the point where they are fucking getting turned on by me roasting them, I am going to have to start charging more. It'll happen. Deeds, Minnesota. What's up, Deeds? With a gifted subscription. Thank you very much, Deeds. Says, can't watch again. Dang it. Have a great night. I will do my best. I'll do my best. And then Ronan for $5. Reading this fast makes me a Dave Filoni lover. What? Reading this fast makes me a Dave Filoni lover. Roast on demand. Oh, yeah. People are saying in the Navy. You know, honestly, I met way more lesbians in the Navy than I met gay people. I mean, like gay men, I should say. Even though, like, I think when I was in, I mean, maybe some people who are still in can enlighten me. When I was in, it was probably about like 18% female. I think that was the number that I remember from some of the Simeo surveys and shit. I think around 18% of the Navy was female when I was in. Now, certainly that kind of varied between some jobs and stuff, as it always would, but around 18%. For that 18%, a lot of fucking lesbians. A lot of lesbians. ACC. Ryan, do you like my thumbnail? Jay likes it. I mean, I hate it. It's the non kid. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's all right. They had your haircut. Some of them did. You know, some of them turned around. They said, "How can I look as manly as possible?" Look at that guy right there, Chief Kinel. He's got a nice haircut. That's a manly fucking haircut. I'm gonna emulate that. That's what happened. I inspired their haircuts. I inspired their haircuts. They didn't inspire me. That has to be it. Should we talk? Speaking of gay shit, should we talk about the Zelda? Not that Zelda is gay. Some people really want her to be, though. Some people really want her to be. Let's see, make sure I'm on the right one here. Yeesh, I am. Yes, Roderick. Goon Solo, he turned off the camera to fix his hair. I did not, in fact. I did not. It's not, I mean, it looks good today, like for my standards. And when I do fix it, I fix it on camera so you guys can see it. B Jane, $10. Pointless to roast me. I'm short, ginger, allergic to peanuts, and live in Connecticut, where my only pro-level sports team is in the WNBA. My existence itself is a joke. See? That's the type of energy you need. Because then no one can fucking say anything about you. No one can say anything about you when that's the case, B-Chain. You're already self-aware. You fucking know. Allergic to peanuts is the worst of that. Allergic to peanuts, bro. I wish that on no man. If it's a woman that's allergic to peanuts, whatever. Man, I wish that on no man. Peanut butter is fucking amazing. I kind of want a peanut butter sandwich after this stream. Kind of want a peanut butter sandwich. Sounds pretty fucking good, actually. God, I might make one in the middle of this stream. What kind of jelly, though? I have so much jelly. I have some up here still. I have so much jelly. I got to go through it. Got to go through it all. The Dutch Kettle strawberry jam. I have it right here. See, this is why you guys can't think I'm an alcoholic because I have fucking alcohol next to me. Because I also randomly have strawberry jelly next to me. Okay? No one ever accused me of being a jelly-aholic. All right? But let's, you have desk jelly. I have a lot of jelly in the house. Someone sent it to me. Someone sent it to me. But let's talk a little bit about the Zelda movie. It was a little bit shocking to a lot of people when Nintendo announced, after the success of the Super Mario Brothers animated movie, that there would be a Zelda movie. Well, that wasn't the surprise. The surprise was that it would be live action. That was the shocking thing, that they were doing a live action Zelda movie. And we recently got the first look at it. Now, of course, we saw some leaked images from behind the scenes that got out there. And after that, Miyamoto himself actually came out and said, hey, we're just going to show you the first look. We're just going to show you Bo Braggerson, who plays Zelda, and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, who plays Link. We're going to give you guys, since it leaked out there anywhere, we're going to show you what they're going to look like in those roles. And by and large, a lot of people really like the way that these actors look as these characters. They love the outfits. They think it's going to be a really good adaptation. If people love Zelda, they're probably pretty hyped about it. However, not everyone is as excited. And could you guess why? Could you guess which faction of people might be upset about this? It might be the people with pronouns in their bios, the freaks, the degenerates out there. It might be those people who are mad. Why is that? Because Zelda isn't being played by a man. Because Zelda because Hunter Schafer didn't get cast as Zelda. Now, this is a story that's been out there for a while. Hunter Schafer, a biological male who has transitioned and pretends to be a woman, right, is an actor. Hunter Schafer really wanted to play Zelda, and the thousands of trans people out there wanted that to happen too. Unfortunately, 99.9% of the rest of the people in the world thought that would be fucking ridiculous to have a biological man play the role of Zelda. But that hasn't stopped the people from still asking for it. A lot of responses from stuff like this. I would have preferred Hunter Schafer just the same. They were afraid of success. Afraid of success? Nintendo was afraid that they would make too much money if they cast a man to play Zelda? Is that the argument you really want to stick to? Maybe you should delete that and think again. Hunter Schafer deserved this role. Where's Hunter Schafer? Should have been Hunter Schafer. L for not cast Hunter Schafer. Should have been Hunter Schafer for sure. That is not Hunter Schafer. Hunter Schafer had a better chance of playing Link, to be honest with you. We still haven't gotten over the fact that Hunter Schafer wasn't chosen. Hunter Schafer deserved the Zelda lead, mind you. We wanted Hunter Schafer. Should have been Hunter Schafer. Always, and this is Master of the TDS, I think, collected these and put these out there. So shout out to Master of the TDS. But this is so stupid. And it shows you how delusional some of these people are about the grand scope of things. 99% of the world thinks you are fucking insane for wanting this. That's the truth. Normal people don't want this. There are roles out there for Hunter Schafer. Hunter Schafer in Euphoria plays a biological male who has transitioned into a woman. It's strange, I know, right? But that's the role that Hunter Schafer plays in Euphoria. And that was a very successful and highly touted show. Made Hunter Schafer into a star. So Hunter Schafer can find roles in Hollywood. It shouldn't be replacing females. And I mean, a lot of them look like this too, right? People saying, hey, the Zelda actress looks really good. This is awesome. Switch EOS. So they were just going to move on from the biggest miscasting in cinema history that fast, huh? Hunter deserved the role, not some random girl boss who's been in films no one's ever heard of. What do you think the ratio is here? 1.4 thousand comments to 79 likes. A lot of quote tweets. Just getting absolutely fucking annihilated. And the truth is, because you can put a bunch of makeup on someone, you can do a bunch of surgeries, you can do everything to try to appear this way. But ultimately, Hunter Schafer is a biological man who is now identifying as a woman. Doesn't mean that people want Hunter Schafer, that most of people in society want Hunter Schafer to be taking away roles from actual women. That's just the reality. That's the truth. And reality is not something that all of the people here are very well accustomed to. They deny reality every single fucking day. Yet, unfortunately for them, they can't change their reality. We don't need men playing Zelda. Jeremy Microdick says, Ryan, there's nothing wrong with Hunter playing as Zelda, you fucking bigot. She has a bigger dick than you. Well, look, I don't know if we're ever going to find out whether that's true or not, Jeremy's Microdick. But the fact that he has a dick disqualifies him from playing the role of Zelda. Regardless of whether or not it's bigger than mine, to be honest with you. I think if it is bigger, it disqualifies him even more. That's what I would say. But if it is bigger, shout out to him, man. Why would you want to be a woman then? Measuring contest? We're going to need a lot more super chats to do a measuring contest. Not as big as Big Mike. No, I think Big Mike Obama's got a big hog, no doubt. Snacks for 200 would have made this movie a drag. Is that the right one? Did it go but The only one I know on this board for real is the applause. I don't use all the other shit like Gary does. B Chain had a PB&J once, went to anaphylactic shock. Oh, well, anaphylaxis shock. That sucks. That really sucks, actually. I would still risk it. What if you fucking eat a peanut butter sandwich and just immediately EpiPen yourself? You good? I would do that. It's worth it, bro. Well, if I was allergic to pizza, probably just die. In all honesty. I'd probably just be ready to fucking die if I was allergic to pizza. ACC for 50. Link will take a backseat and Zelda will be girl bossing with her bow and arrows. And the woke will say, well, it's called Legend of Zelda, not Legend of Link. You know, I think that it's not a super big concern that I have. But maybe some people do have that concern. This day and age, I get it. This day and age, I get it. 120 pounds each for my EpiPens, one-time use, so not worth it. That's a good point, Cornholio. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. You've eaten pizza in 7 years? How are you still living life? Jeremy Microdick says, I bet Ryan has to use Viagra to get a boner that is barely 3 inches long. Hey, you give me, it's actually only 2 inches. So you're giving me some extra credit there, Jeremy Microdick. And that's with 2 Viagra to get 2 inches. Full, but it's a girthy 2, you know? It's a girthy 2. Let's see. We're still good over on the Rumble side. Thanks, guys. I see Maddie in there. I see SWA with the gifted membership, or got the gifted membership from Deeds. So shout out to SWA. Let me do a little refresh. Good there. A power nub? Yeah. It's like a little fucking soup can, you know? Basically. John Muntz, this Jeremy guy sounds gay. I mean, a little bit, John Muntz. Yeah, so tuna can, Lordville. That's what I'm thinking about, a tuna can. There it is. There it is. I did want to talk about something nice. Some good, wholesome energy. At least I'm really happy with it. I know I talked about this with Vera, but I didn't have the video to show, the video that I wanted to show. Now I got the video I want to show. So I do want to talk about it. So I can clip it out. I like talking about good stuff every once in a while. City Quest out. Bro, are you just another fucking alt for this Powerpuff? I can't say that word on YouTube. This Powerpuff queer or whatever his name is. Well, all you're talking about in the chat is Superman. You guys are just constantly talking about Superman, and it's part of the problem. This idea that Superman was more successful than it fucking was. You guys are crazy. You guys are actually insane. That's the reason all this hype around the fucking Snyderverse is back. It was fucking dead in the water. It was buried. It was fucking over. James Gunn's Superman comes out and people are like, oh shit, wasn't very good. I kind of miss what we had. And now we've got all this fucking Snyderverse stuff going on. You guys are the people who don't understand the way people felt about this movie. You're nuts. You guys are fucking crazy. I see a Cleveland Brown. I see a Cleveland. I don't think so. Maybe. Supergirl's next. Yes, Supergirl's next. I'm sure it'll do great. Ooh, Nick the Quick. If you can only order one item from McDonald's for the rest of your days, what would it be? So, my subvariant strain. My typical McDonald's order is 10-piece nuggets, a large 10-piece nugget meal with obviously fries and a drink, and then I get a couple double cheeseburgers. I do really like the Big Mac, but I don't have it very often. I usually add Mac sauce to my double cheeseburgers. But if I could only have one item, it would be the fries. It would have to be McDonald's fries. If I could only have one fucking item from McDonald's, it would be the fries. Now, if you're asking breakfast, it'd have to be the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Have to be. Have to be. What's on the cheeseburger? I get the cheeseburger with the normal shit. So it's just the little diced onions and pickles. And then I usually add Mac sauce. And it comes with like ketchup, mustard, whatever. So, and then I add Mac sauce to that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I didn't want to do that. I want to cut this down. Do this. Hit the wrong button. Look, sausage, Asian cheese, McMuffin. Bro, for me, McMuffins are fine. McGriddles, it is so much better. You have a fucking pancake as a bun. Are you kidding me? The fucking maple syrup flavor, dude. Dude, you can't beat that. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. All right. But let's get to this. Of all of the stars who were in the Harry Potter franchise, one of the only people to not turn their back on J.K. Rowling was Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy, which might seem ironic that one of the antagonists of the story was one of the only people that had J.K. Rowling's back, but that was just the truth. Over and over again, Tom Felton has expressed support for J.K. Rowling. Now, that doesn't mean he's saying, I agree with everything she thinks, but it's simply not canceling her and saying that I think it's crazy. The controversy is wild. I don't really pay attention to it, but I know that she has done more to bring people together with Harry Potter than almost anyone else in the entire world. Here's the quote. I can't say that the controversy impacts me. I'm not really that attuned to it. I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. She's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful. So it was pretty cool for Harry Potter fans when we got the announcement that Tom Felton was going to be starring in The Cursed Child. Now, I love Harry Potter. Unabashedly, I love Harry Potter, the book series. I hate The Cursed Child with all my heart. I despise it. I hate it. I don't think it's canon. It doesn't make any sense. But I have heard it's a very good production and a very good stage play. With that being said, the idea of Tom Felton returning to play his character, the role of Draco Malfoy, at just about the right age that his character is supposed to be in this series or in this play, I think is really fucking cool. And Tom Felton finally made his debut on Broadway for Cursed Child the other night. And let's just say it was a pretty big pop.
And I know you don't like him, but he's all I need.
And it just kept going. That is a big, big pop for Tom Felton, and it happened pretty often. Here's another scene.
Incarcerus! Scared, Potter? You wish.
And I also thought it was very cool that, the actor who plays Lucius, Jason Isaacs, who also has been fairly supportive, throughout all this stuff, he went there and he showed a lot of love to Tom Felton as well. I came, I saw, he conquered. You had your own giant boots to fill, son, and you burst them at the seams. Balls like ostrich eggs. So brave, so proud, so glad to be there. So a little on-screen father and son with Jason Isaacs, who great portrayal of Lucius Malfoy, by the way, and Tom Felton. I just think it's really cool. I really do. As much as I despise The Cursed Child and I feel like it is fan fiction and makes no sense, and I could talk for an hour about why The Cursed Child is hot flaming garbage in terms of a story. I think it's really cool to see one of the people who refused to throw J.K. Rowling under the bus time and time and time again. And one of the few people who actually appreciates the fact that this franchise turned them into a star. That this franchise allowed them to make more money than they could ever know what to do with, that appreciates and respects it and still wants to pay the fans back, still wants to be a part of it. I think that it doesn't happen very often throughout any franchises this day and age, especially with that one, with so much of these fucking kids who owe everything to J.K. Rowling, stabbing her in the back at the first opportunity. Tom Felton did not do that. I respect the hell out of it. And I love the fact that he got so much love in coming back to play this character. There we go. Something nice to talk about, right? Something nice. Pee pee poo poo girl. What the hell? We got a pee pee poo poo girl now for 99 cents. Hello, pee pee poo poo girl. Pee pee poo poo man, pee pee poo poo girl. All the pee-pee poo-poos. Coming out of nowhere. Coming out of nowhere. Very strange. The poop family. Maybe pee-pee poo-poo man transitioned. Pulled a Hunter Schafer, you know? Maybe that happened. Maybe that happened. I don't know. Hunter Schafer should have played Drake. Oh, I'm sure those people think that. I'm sure these freaks think that. Is that your new bat symbol behind you? It is a new bat symbol behind me, Andrew. Do you like it? I think people like it. I just put it up before the stream. I had a lot of negative space there for a long time. I don't even know why I didn't put anything up. I just didn't put anything up. It was just blank. Usually my head's blocking it, so whatever. But I got this actually on my birthday, and I was like, you know what? You know what? Let's fucking get it up there. Where's the Batman Joker painting? It's actually right here. Is it right side up? Yeah. No. I got a bunch of shit laying just outside of the picture. I got a bunch of shit right outside the picture there. B. Jane for $2 says, I hear pee pee poo poo. I laugh at pee pee poo poo. A lot of people giggle at it. A lot of people giggle at it. That's what used to be there. I do think that it used to. Who did the painting? I don't know. I probably got it at Hobby Lobby. So I don't fucking know. But I think what I used to have, I think that, where am I? I think this used to be pushed more to the edge. And then the painting could go there. But now because I did want to get a couple of like the toys up there and stuff, and I've got Dash Rendar and Darth Malgus and Kyle Katarn and Prince Zizor. I got Nominor down there. Revan. Some of them are above. You can't even see, I guess. And so then it just was like, well, it's not the same. That's all right, though. That's all right. That's all right. Hobby Lobby has cool stuff. I think they do. So this is Hobby Lobby gay. I feel like Hobby Lobby is pretty not gay. I mean, gay if you're going there to like get like, I don't know if I was going there to get stuff to sew or to make fabric or whatever. But Hobby Lobby is they're a Christian based company, right? I feel like they are. I think so. Naaman's all set for Asmon versus DSP collab coming this Monday. Is it Monday? So we were talking about that because we have to talk about it on FML. It's happening Monday. So we're not going to have a lot of time. I guess it'll be Monday morning or afternoon. God, we might have some good FML content. Might have some good FML content. I just mean shopping at Hobby Lobby is quite womanly. I think it depends what you're going there for. If you're going there for cool shit to put on your wall, I think they have some pretty cool stuff. And even just like they've got stuff from like America shit. They've got like hunting type of shit or whatever. But then also everybody does need to decorate for Christmas. They got a lot of great Christmas decorations there. Men need that shit sometimes too. Just saying. Just saying. I went to Michael's the other day. I actually did have to do like kind of womanly shit. I had to make my ice thing for my Halloween costume. So I had to like I went to get fabric, like leather fucking fabric that I could cut down to size, and a bunch of like what is it? Like letter stickers so I could stick onto there. And I need to put Velcro. I need to put Velcro on the back of the leather. That was like a pretty womanly thing. But I had to dress up as Ice Ketchum. So it was not embroidery. Let's be clear. It's not embroidery. I bought a strip of Velcro. I bought a strip of leather fabric, and I bought white stickers for the ice. So you gotta do it. You gotta do it. But yes, to answer the question, Namens, I'm ready for Monday. That's gonna be really funny. It's gonna be really funny. But guys, with that being said, we are bumping up against the 2-hour point here, and I think that I am going to. That's all I got. That's all I got to talk about. We've got a couple extra topics in there that weren't even in the title of the stream, which is good. But I do appreciate. I do appreciate. Had a J moment there. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. The fourth stream we've done in 5 days on this channel. There will not be another one likely until Sunday, but we will be back on Sunday, normal time. And that's about it. Appreciate you guys being here and supporting me as always. Y'all are fucking awesome. And with that being said, I hope everybody has a good night. Bye, everybody.